What's next? Everyone wants to know what it is, from cryptocurrency to AI and even the next social media darling. So you best watch your back there, Costco guys. And it's the very foundation of the scouting game, which brings us to our first look at the class of 2028 here on Coffee and Curveballs. I'm Corey McCartney, that's Shooter Hunt. And Shooter, Prep Baseball has recently unveiled top 150 in the class. Comes with a really interesting confluence of influences because at the top, you've got Dexter McCleon Jr., progeny of the Super Bowl champion safety, two-sport athlete at Clemson. Everyone knew this Georgia star was going to be atop this list when it finally came out. You have that side of it. And then you have what I think speaks to the power of getting on radars and getting in front of scouts when it comes to making this initial list.
It's really difficult this young age, right? You graduate from the Williamsport, the rah rah, the cheering on the side to like, hey, now we're moving to projection mode. But it's always fun for me to put together the freshman list essentially, and we do it a little bit later because it allows us the full summer season into the fall season to get acquainted with these guys. I will say my job is made much easier when you have a kid like Dexter McCleon, who's just what you're always looking for is uber athletic guys who can stick up the middle, have a chance to really develop, move well. It's not so much the fact that he's got a mid 90s fastball at 14 or 15, however old he is, which is astounding, but the fact that he can really swing, he's a good athlete, he moves well, and there's a high ceiling. He's not there yet. There's a lot he has to do, but he has a chance to get to higher levels than anybody else.
I've spent some time around the kids, 6'3", 200 pounds out of Buford High School here in Georgia. I mean, it's undeniable. You
Different.
talk about, near triple digit exit velos, a 6'6", in the 60. You mentioned the fastball, and he's been challenging himself for years, including this past summer, playing in the 16U National Championship. So you mentioned a little bit of it there, but what more do you look for from a guy that, I mean, again, everyone was expecting when this first list came out that he was going to be on top of it.
I think it's even more so. It's the fact like this guy is a really mature kid. He's got some tunnel vision to him. Just got to see him at the top prospect state games in Georgia last summer against a bunch of really good 27s. He was not scared. Like he expected success. And that's something that's really important, hard to teach for a kid that's that athletic and really just rest on how good he is as an athlete. No, he's out there to prove that he's the best at all times. And when we're evaluating these lists, especially the top end, who are guys we think have a chance to kind of stick up here, which is why this entire list has a lot of two-way guys, if not left-handed arms, and shortstops, center fielders, catchers.
So you bring it up there, a lot of two-way potential on these guys, especially I think, and probably this is a lot of your initial thoughts going into this. These guys just graduating from those younger ranks, most of those top athletes are coming in as two ways anyway, and I think they kind of have to let things sort out as they continue their development along the beginnings of their prep careers.
For sure, and especially with pitchers, what we found historically with our data sets and doing these is that the pitchers are a little bit later, right? It's tough to maintain 95 plus throughout high school as a high school right-hander at 14. And a lot of times it's those guys who kind of blossom late who, whatever it may be, have a chance to really explode later on. It's hard to maintain from the arm side, which is why you see a lot of position guys and to that the extent of two-way where, hey, we can kind of bet on these guys staying here for now. We'll see what happens with the class with regards to the arms.
Well, a couple of those two ways that you had circled within this top 10, Keelan Zumwalt out of Missouri, who comes in at seventh, and Texas's Travis Fielder at eighth. Two guys that flashed their two-way potential this past summer at the junior feature games.
Yeah, and Zumwalt, who's got great bloodlines, dad with the Royals, his brothers are really good prospects, older, but he can swing it, looks the part of the mound. Another guy who likes to compete, loves to go on the mound and do his thing, steps in the box. Actually, kind of reminded me of the first time I saw Cam Caminiti years ago at Lake Point. I think it was during the COVID area codes. I'm looking on a backfield. He's playing with the East Cobb Astros and kind of looked the same, like the high socks, good frame. Kid has the ability to swing it. Hey, we're going to bet on this because he likes to compete. And then Travis Fiedler, who just actually went out to a preseason All-State event with Texas, and he just looks the part, man. Like you bet on those Texas guys, they got something in their neck, something to prove at all times. He's 6'1", 187, 6'9" runner. Texas is kind of turning into shortstop central here, trying to steal that limelight from Southern California. But we'll see what happens there, Brandon Goins. But Fiedler's a guy I can't wait to see this spring, if not this summer.
Also within the top 10, shout out to third baseman Colin Anderson at number 9, who's ripping off 104.6 exit velo and is actually part of my son's lunch group at Georgia Powerhouse Etowah. So seven
Mega
spring
power.
follows. Yeah, 7 spring follows that you've earmarked. Three within the top 25 in the class, and Ohio's Carter Schuse, a junior feature gamer back in 2023. Utah's imposing Austin Brown, who put on a show at the plate as part of the main feature
Mhm.
games team this past summer. Washington two-way Lincoln Moore, another past junior feature gamer. Schuse opens at 12th, Brown 16th, and Moore 25th.
So when you talk about shoes, he was outstanding with USA, playing up, like just has professional hitter traits. He's from Ohio, cold weather state, who has they've actually done a really good job producing hitters, especially recently. You think back to Colt Emerson, who's
Yeah.
going to blow up for the Mariners soon. But it's just hard to teach his bat the ball ability. There's some power there. It's a right profile. He also hops on the mound. I keep stressing the competitive nature. It's so important. It's easier to cool a kid off than to push them forward. So seeing guys who want to go out and win is always ultra important to me. Austin Brown, I mean, my man's got big boy power. Left-handed hitter. He's at the future games with a Team Utah team that always brings dudes 2 years older, and this guy's putting on an absolute display. I'd expect much of the same for him with some of that Jeff Scholzen little mountaintops in the background throughout his high school season. Lincoln Moore, a guy who's up in my neck of the woods in the Pacific Northwest, who ultra athletic, has a chance to stick at shortstop, arm really works across. The bat the ball skills are there. He's going to have a chance to really develop along the lines of that trio right there.
Within the top 50, we have yet to put eyes on Sierra Canyon shortstop Theo Swafford in the Lake Point sports circuit anyway, but comes in at 26, brings some power. MLB bloodline, son of a former Pirates third-round pick and Derek Swafford.
Oh, did not even know that part of it, but that dude can hit. It's some lightning bat speed from the left side, chance to stick at shortstop again, up the middle, bat the ball, quickness. The tools are all there. The bat speed, the exit velocities, whatever may come from those. It's why Sierra Canyon is a team that I can't wait to see. They got some good arms, obviously a really good school. Can't wait to get down to Southern California to see him because I think he has a chance to be one of the better guys in the state of California.
Let's hit Hawaii at number 31 for
Let's
catcher
do it.
Kai Watanabe, who the absolute talk of the junior feature games. Pop time down to 185, 81 velo behind the plate. You hate to get too excited, but this player really has a chance to be special as the top-ranked primary catcher in the class.
Yeah, Watanabe is going to make it much easier for me to book my wonderful flight over to the islands. Even with those pop times, and a lot of times pop times, oh, this guy's a 1.8, oh, 1.9. A lot of the Twitter arguments we can get on. What I love about what we do, I went to the profile. You look in at see what he does. Oh, he moves really well. That's ultra athletic, quick release. There are so many good things. The time, obviously, really good, strong arm. But beyond that, the fight, the boundaries and the base, excuse me, the base of what he's able to do right now at 14, 15. I mean, that's a premium defender, which is tough to say at this young of age. Left-handed hitter, not afraid to get off some hacks. He can get some lift to the baseball. This is going to be a huge year for them draft-wise from the college ranks. We'll see what happens with him over the next 3-4 years.
We ended with a couple of right-handers in Florida's Cohen Poplin, who was ranked 83rd, ripping off 2,600 spin on that slider already. And Indiana's Cole Breeden, the class's 92nd ranked player, and who is also making some serious noise on the hardwood for modern day.
Yeah, you know what's really cool about especially the right-handers, right? It's a grouping. We talk about each year with the high school right-handers. It's kind of you get a big group. We'll see what happens throughout. It's saying a lot with where we have these guys in the top 100. Cohen Poplin, who we love talking with our Florida guys, with Caden Hatcher, Rocco Arvesi, Connor Holdren. Like, hey, we love the way this arm works, the way this guy moves. It's really good. I think it was like 82, 84. Comes to the preseason event, he's ready to go in the spring. He's touching 90, like you talked about, ripping off good breaking balls. But honestly, the way he moves and the quickness of the arm, that's the most important thing. The fact that this kid has a chance to get even better. Talk about that with Cole Breeden as well. I think he was like 80, 81 this fall. He moves really well. He's 6'4", he's loose, really good hooper. You know, he's an athlete, he can get out there. I wouldn't be surprised coming from the land of power arms and jump shots in Indiana if Cole Breeden's jumping up a little bit this summer the next time I see him.
Well, no set of rankings seems more fluid than the initial look at a class, and I'm excited to see what's next for these 2028s. And keep it locked right here. We'll have plenty more coffee and curveballs coming your way. Until next time, I'm Corey McCartney. That's Shooter Hunt, and we'll see you at the Diamond.